Hey, what's up, my friends? JT DeBolt with you today, and just wanted to give a real quick message today. As everybody probably knows, is Election Day here in the United States. So I have two things I want to share with you. Number one, if you are a U.S. citizen and if you are eligible to vote, please go out and vote. I personally don't care who you vote for. Just vote with your heart, vote with your conscience, vote with your critical thinking skills. Please, if you can, separate yourself from identity politics and vote in a way that makes sense to you. I'm cool with whatever you choose. You and I may have very different views. We likely do. We may have different opinions on things, and that's okay. That's actually the beautiful part about it. The whole electoral process is designed so that we all have a voice. Now, we may not love the outcome. Don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out how long it takes to actually come to the outcome. But at the end of the day, what's important is that you have your voice heard. It's crazy to me how many people don't actually vote. They keep falling for the same bullshit fucking story that their vote doesn't count, that the voting system is rigged and all that shit. Maybe it is, man. I don't know. But until you actually stop fighting, when you stop fighting for your right to be heard, for your voice to be counted, when you stop that fight, they fucking win. We can't let that happen. So that's the first thing. The second thing is once you've done that, once the vote has been done, it's time to move on. And what do I mean by that? Look, mainstream media, probably one of the biggest propagators of this, has created division by creating a narrative, spewing forth this idea that you and I are somehow awful people. It doesn't matter what you believe. Somehow, because we differ, we are mortal fucking enemies. And I got news for you. We are more alike than you realize. This concept that there's racism and there's this and there's that is fucking bullshit. If you actually sat down and talked to somebody, especially outside of your echo chamber, people that don't necessarily believe the same things you do or agree with the same things, here's a little shocker. When you apply critical thinking, guess what happens? You can actually sit down and talk to somebody who you completely disagree with and respect that person. It doesn't mean you have to buy into what they're saying or agree with their beliefs. You can actually disagree and still respect them. We've forgotten that. That's because we've forgotten what this whole topic or this whole term of leadership is. Now, I've got a podcast. Some of you probably heard of it, the True Driven Podcast. It's out there on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that kind of stuff. I also upload it to YouTube. I would love it if you have any interest in that, youtube.com/JT DeBolt. Go subscribe to that. Tomorrow morning, I'm actually dropping an episode that I recorded specifically to come out after the election, to talk about the way forward, that we can come together and unite and rise together. I hope you'll go check it out. But at the very least, even if you don't check it out, I hope you'll hear me right now. Number one, if you're able to, if you're eligible to, please go vote. Your voice matters. Doesn't matter if you agree with me or not. I respect that and I accept that. Number two is after that, it's time for us to move on, but move together. And here's the good news. You can still keep your thoughts, your belief systems. If they counter mine, I'm okay with that. I want to let you know that I don't personally care how you vote. I still respect you. I respect your ability to have that right and to be able to voice your vote and put it in, regardless of whether it agrees with mine or not. One thing I learned from serving this country as a U.S. naval aviator and seeing some pretty fucking shitty parts of the world, absolute terrible parts of the world where despotism and tyranny runs the day, I can tell you we're pretty fortunate for where we live here. Let's not buy into this notion that we are somehow so divided that we can't ever get along, because that's when they win. We're better than that. It comes down to respect. It comes down to personal excellence. And it comes down to uniting. We can do this. We have to do this. And we will do this. So regardless of whether you're here in the United States or somewhere else, be the best American, the best Canadian, the best Australian, the best Brit, the best whatever. Wherever you come from, have pride in where you're from. That's okay too. But be the best version of that each and every single day. I appreciate you listening to this message. And if you do decide to subscribe to the YouTube channel, I appreciate that as well. But regardless, just make sure that today you go out there, if you're eligible, and vote. And once that's done, it's time to drop the identity politics and start to come together as a people. I appreciate that. That's true leadership. And I look forward with hope and also with a true sense of belief that we can and will do that. I appreciate you guys. Thanks a lot. And remember, no matter what course you fly in life, fly high, fly fast, fly far, stay driven.